All right, guys, we're live. It is Monday. Happy Valentine's Day for those of you who hopefully are out there taking care of your spouses, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, my gosh, your kids, your parents, anybody. Just love some people up today, am I right? Today, we're going to get to the topic of, Joe, I'm a buyer and there just aren't enough houses out there. What do I do? And we've got a few solutions for you, depending upon how much effort you truly want to put in, right? There are a lot of different things that you can do depending upon what level of effort you want to put in. But I'm going to tell you, number one, the easiest thing is you want to make sure, oh, we had Lissette in here. Lisette's back. We had the internet go down, but she's back. All right, well, we'll see. So I told him we're going to talk about the problem of I'm a buyer and I can't find houses. There just aren't enough. So the first thing I was going to suggest is you got to be quick, right? And to be quick, there are a couple different things that you can do to set yourself up for success with quickness. Number one is get your realtor to set you up on an auto email. And that auto email is going to instantly shoot you properties that are available on the market, right? So that way you're not going to Zillow and Trulia and Redfin and Realtor and Coldwell Banker and Remax and Keller Williams and eXp Realtor. You're not going to all those websites. You're getting one email and you don't have to go. It's coming to you. You're getting one email. And a lot of times, if you go to a lot of those websites, you'll see stuff that's not even available anymore. It's already sold. It's pending, right? If you get something from me in an email or your realtor in an email, at least at the time it was sent, it was available, right? And it fits the criteria you wanted. You don't have to go look for it. It comes to you. So that's the first thing speed-wise. Second thing is make sure you're with somebody who is available, right? A full-time agent. And I'll tell you, Lissette, we've talked about this a lot. Being on a team is incredibly helpful because you're a full-time agent. You've got a lot of clients who know you're hardworking. They want Lissette. They want your time. They know Joe's hardworking. They want my time. So it's tough sometimes to say, let's go look at it in 4 hours. That's kind of challenging. But if I can turn to my other 9 or 10 teammates and say, guys, I've got somebody, can you help me out? And they say, yes, we are able to get you in homes that other agents couldn't get you in because we've got a team. That's incredibly helpful. So you want to find out how accessible your agent is. And then lastly, when it comes to speed, you want to have an agent who's willing to get over there and take a video if you can't be there. I've got a lot of clients right now that are in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, New York, California, and they just can't make it to the home in time, right? But they don't want to miss it either. So what I'll say is, hey, listen, tell me what you want. I'll get over there on my time today and I will make you a video. I'll send it to you. If we can FaceTime, let's FaceTime so it's interactive. If I can't FaceTime you, maybe the internet's bad, whatever it is, I'll take a video, I'll send it to you, and now you can make a better decision based on that better information, which is the video. So those are all things that I've got to kind of pick up the speed a little bit, which hopefully should help some people. Lissette, what do you've got?
I think it's, always explore all your options, and maybe new construction is an option. If inventory is so tight and you're just not finding anything within your price range and there's just not any options, but you have a little bit of time to spare, there's lots of options. You could go with new construction. Sometimes the construction times are out about a year, but if a spec home pops up and it's ready within the next 4 or 5 months, maybe that's your option. Either way, you may be searching for the next 4 or 5 months for the right listing to pop up either way. So that's an option. And also just extending your search time, seeing if there's any way you could maybe get a little bit more time on the sale of your property, or if you're in a rental, try to see if you get it month to month and just give yourself a little bit more time to do that search. This is the biggest purchase of your life. So of course you don't want to rush into everything, but it is really important to be quick about it, be aggressive, and give yourself that flexibility because of the situation, the inventory we're working with right now.
I like that. And if you're picky, new construction solves the picky problem, right? Now you can be a little bit more specific of what you want. And I'll tell you right now, I just looked this up about 2 weeks. Port St. Lucie single family homes were averaging about $390, $391 for a sales price. There is new construction. You're probably not going to find it in the low threes anymore, but you can find it in the mid to upper threes. So it's definitely comparable to the other average pre-existing home sale prices. So I think that that's great too. Moving into opening up your options, I thought you brought up a great point with new construction. There's always going to be a builder and there's always going to be a lot. You can marry the two and you can make whatever you want. That's a great idea. FSBOs is another option. I do want to bring it up because it's an option, but I also want to throw out just kind of the mindset behind for sale by owners, right? We call them FSBOs, for sale by owner, FSBO. You can look them up on different websites. You can find them on Zillow. You can find them on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. There's a million places to look them up. And as soon as I tell you, they're going to change. So you got to be aggressive, right? You got to go and you got to look. But remember the mindset of a for sale by owner. This person is trying to save 1%, 2%, 3% in efforts to up their net. If they're trying to do that and they're being that nitpicky with percentages, just remember it's going to be a little bit more challenging on average to negotiate with these guys. And also, they don't have a professional involved with the sale. So now the question on you is, who's doing all your paperwork, right? If you're working with an agent, that agent is going to do your paperwork, but nobody's representing them. Now, that might actually be a good thing. It might be a bad thing. But just remember that person doesn't have anybody driving the transaction. So if they're going to work every day and they're working 40, 50 hours a week, that's 40, 50 hours another agent would be helping me to get it done. So absolutely, if you need some more options, you're not finding them, go look, but realize it's going to be more challenging to find, a more challenging transaction, and it's probably going to cost you a little bit more. All of that on average. Lissette, what else you got?
There's one technique that's a little bit thinking outside of the box. And what you could do is ask your agent to reach out for rentals and see maybe you could rent this property and rent it for a year with maybe an option to buy, or contact the listing agent and find out, hey, I know you have this property for rent, but what if we made you an offer to buy it? It might open up a few more options for you. And if you can't purchase it right now because landlord maybe wants to hold on to it for another year, maybe you have the option to rent it out and then close on the property the following year.
Yeah, great point. That's an awesome point too. And guys, before I get into my next point, if you've got any comments you want to throw in, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can throw them in there. And if it's before we end here, we'll certainly comment back. If it's after, we'll respond in written comments to you. Last thing I would throw out is being really aggressive in reaching out to homeowners, right? Homeowners who are not on the market. I'll tell you, and Lissette, I'd love to hear if you've had this experience too. In our neighborhood alone, we've gotten 3 in the last 12 months postcards saying, I'm looking in your neighborhood. I'm not seeing anything I want. If you want to sell, let me know. I'm willing to pay market or even a little bit over. And I thought, man, and in my neighborhood, we would go to little parties. People would talk about it. Did you get the postcard? I get the postcard. Did you get the postcard? They were talking about it, right? So that door knocks, phone calls are ways to be a little bit more aggressive. Is it time consuming? Is it challenging? Yes. But if you're picky and you don't want to wait the 10, 11 months it takes to get new construction done, you either have to be less picky or you've got to ramp up the efforts and start making calls or somehow market to these folks. So that's something that I've seen work for people several times in the last 2 years since the market's gone crazy. Lissette?
Yeah, no, I love that idea. That's a fantastic idea. And us as agents, if we know you're interested in a specific community, we can form that community. We could reach out to all the neighbors in the area and let them know, hey, we have someone willing to offer you this much. Are you willing to sell your property? It's very different when you approach a seller with an offer already written down.
Yeah.
Someone that may not have been thinking about it previously may start thinking about listing their property.
I think that's a great point too. I mean, how many times have you gotten as a listing agent someone who will call, usually a buyer, it's almost never an agent because agents know it doesn't work, and they'll say, hey, you've got that property listed for X. I'll give them this, and these are my terms. Let me know if they're interested, and I'll write it up. And we know, do not do that, because the second you do that, one term is going to change, or it wasn't discussed, or the money changes, or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you've got emotional issues, right? So it doesn't work. But I think if you bring that contract in writing and you can show them the physical contract, it just carries so much more weight and increases your conversion rates. So that's another great idea. Did you have anything else to share with us?
And just overall, we're going to have to be a little bit patient. And unfortunately, it is uncomfortable and it is frustrating. And, I've been through it with my buyers. And when we're looking at the markets, there's just not a lot of options. And whatever there is as options has multiple offers. Just remember that's this week. Things can change next week. We have new properties coming in the market every single day. So just keep at it, take a breather, maybe take 24 hours and step back, collect yourself together, and let's keep on searching.
That's a great point. As little inventory as there is, it has remained consistently low, but at least consistent. meaning that for every home that sells every day, there's another home that pops on. So as challenging as it can be, you're right. The patience is just incredibly helpful. Well, Lissette, I appreciate it. Everybody, thank you for watching. Again, if you've got any comments, any questions, any issues, whatever, just know that we're always here to help you. I appreciate it. And Lissette, happy Valentine's Day, bud.
Happy Valentine's. Have a great one, guys.